are going to have the press briefing of the presidential administration spokesman for ATO issues, Colonel Oleksandr Motuzyanyk. Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. I'll start with the good news. Over the last 24 hours, none of the Ukrainian servicemen was killed or wounded. Also, a number of the enemy provocations, including using the heavy weaponry, has drastically decreased. The Lugansk sector, there were two enemy's provocations on the front line area, Popasna-Svetlodarsk, Donetsk sector. The enemy violated the ceasefire regime in Mayorsk and between Avdiivka and Petsky. In the other frontline sections, it was quiet yesterday. The biggest number of shootings on the part of the occupants tradition was recorded near Avdiivka, where the enemy used several times mortars. All in all, we registered 15 enemy provocations in the Donetsk sector. In the Mariupol sector, the enemy 9 times violated the ceasefire regime and 2 times using mortars. All of them took place in the second part of the day. The biggest number of provocations the enemy was registered between Gnutovo and Shirokino. The Chief Director of Intelligence of the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine published the news about the losses of the illegal armed formations over the several last days. Yesterday near Stekhanov, as a result of the blasting or undermining the truck on their own minefield, 7 occupants were killed, including 2 women snipers. They belong to the gang formation, so-called LPR. 3 days ago to Donetsk Regional Clinical Hospital, they delivered 5 dead and 3 wounded rebels. They belong to the DPR gang formation. The day before yesterday, one of the rebels, part of the so-called 9th Assault Motor Rifle Marine of the DPR, actually was killed by the mine in their own minefield. He was drunk. 3 days ago, in the shooting ground near Torres, the combatants of another DPR band formation, the enemies actually set 2 tanks to fire. The one tank was actually burned down, another they managed to extinguish. Those who did that, they were not happy with the fact that the commander did not allow them to return back to Russia. They were not paid money for a long time. 5 days ago, near Zaitsevo, during 2 more occupants were killed. One of them is Alexander Sukharev from Ufa. The employees of SBU detained, mobilized serviceman of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, commander of the reconnaissance group, who turned out to be the spy for the Russian special services. It has been established that he was delivering the information to the enemy about the dislocation of our troops, and the places were for the task of his own and other reconnaissance intelligence groups. He actually tried to persuade other servicemen to switch over to the enemy. Policemen detained in Slovyansk some of the several hirelings of the enemy. It has been established that they participated actively in organization of separatist pseudo-referendum in May 2014. Also, they delivered information about the dislocation of the armed forces of Ukraine. In 184th training center of the National Academy of Army Army Academy. The exercise Spring Thunderbolt 2016 continue. They try to simulate the situations which took place in the ATO zone, and also shooting, air contests, etc. Legendary paratrooper hero Ukraine Major Oleksandr Motuzyanyk delivered lecture for the students of the first and second courses of the special aerial airborne forces in the military academy in Odessa. He actually analyzed the actions of different units, paratrooper units, in the course of operations in the ATO zone in the fall of 2014. This brings me to the end of my presentation. If there are any questions, I'm ready to take those. If not, thank you very much and see you again.